Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kat again. I'm here to help you for your Math 6 Week 5, which is multiplying decimals. So we are through with addition and subtraction of decimal. We'll proceed on how to multiply decimals. Let's start our class. So in this lesson, after going through this module, you are expected to multiply decimals and mix decimals up to do decimal phrases. In multiplying decimals by another decimals, you can multiply them as if they are whole numbers. In placing the decimal point in the product, get the sum of the number of decimal places in each factor. So for you to understand this better, I'm going to discuss and give you examples on how to multiply numbers with 2 decimal place factors. Example in this problem, Sophia spent 5,800 hours sewing an apron and 300 times as much to put the finishing touches on it. How long did it take her to do the finishing touches? So in this problem, we are asked to solve how long did it take her to do the finishing touches? Or when we say how long, it is the time. How much time did she spend in the finishing touches? So kung nagagawa niya yung apron ng 5,800s and the finishing touches nagagawa niya 300 times as much as 5,800 hours. So ayun po yung kukunin natin. So that is only, pag sinabi natin here, in our problem, we have as much as times as much. That is multiplication. Now, let's proceed to the next. So we have the given 5,800 hours times 300 times 300s. On how to multiply decimal numbers, here are the steps. Step 1, multiply the hundredths digit. Kung ang inyong i-multiply ay hanggang hundredths place value lamang. But if number with 2 decimal places factor lang, so here, in our given, our step 1 is to multiply the hundredths digit. Alright, so we have first 3 times 8 is 24. Bring down 4 and we have here 2. Then we have 3 times 5, 15 plus 2. Bring down 7, carry 1. Then we have 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So that is the hundredths. And step 2 is multiply the tenths. We have 0 times 8 is 0. Any number multiplied to 0 is 0. 0 times 5 is still 0. And 0 times 0 is 0. Now, we have multiply the ones. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. And 0 times 0 is 0. So here, as you can see, we have 3 layers, or what we call the partial product. So our step 4 is to add the partial product. partial product natin here, our partial product here is this. We have 1, 2, 3. These are what we call the partial product. Now add the partial product. So we have 4, 7 plus 0 is 7, 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0, bring down 0. Now what is next is count the number of decimal places in our factors. We have 1, 2, so that is 2 decimal places. We have here 1 and 2, we have 2 decimal places. Then add the total number of decimal places here. We have 2 plus 2 is, we have 4 decimal places. There should be 4 decimal places in our factor. So we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to count 4 places from right to the left. So therefore, we need to put the decimal point here. So the answer is 174 10,000s. Our product has 4 decimal places. Since the factors has 2 decimal places and 2 decimal. Since the factors, we have 2 decimal places in our multiplicand and 2 decimal places in our multiplier. So the total is 4 decimal places. Therefore, it took Sophia 174 10,000 hour to do the finishing touches of the apron. Now, let's proceed to another example. Let's have another example here. We have 2 and 5. Let's proceed to our next example. We have 2 and 58 hundredths times 29 hundredths. Now let's proceed to multiplying this given. We have 2 and 58 hundredths times 29 hundredths. Alright, so the first step, multiply by the hundredths. 9 times 8 is 72. Bring down 2. Anak, magbibideo ko lalo kung tatagal. Tatagal lang nanay. Sige ka. We have bring down 2, carry 7. And the next is 5 times 9 is 45 plus 2, 52. Bring down 2, carry 7. And then we have 9 times 2 is 18 plus 5 is 23. Times 8 is 16. Bring down 6, carry 1 here. Then we have 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Then 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. And then multiply by the ones. We have here 0. Since 0 naman ito, we can write 3, 0 here. 2 times 0, 0 times 2 is still 0. Or there is a shortcut for here. But in our video, I'm going to just show. But in our video, I'm going to show you on how to do the normal process or on how to multiply it normally. Now and then we have the add the partial product. We have bring down 2 and then 2 plus 6 is 8. 3 plus 1 plus 0 is 4. We have 2 plus 5 is 7. And then bring down 0. So we have to count the decimal places here. 1, 2, 2 decimal places. And we have here 1, 2, another 2 decimal places with a total of 4 decimal places. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 7,482 10,000s. Now let's have another example. We have here 5 and 65 hundredths times 3 and 50 hundredths. Now let's have 5 and 65 hundredths times 3 and 50 hundredths. Multiplied by the hundreds, we have 0, still 0, still 0. So we have multiplied by the tenths, we have 5 times 5 is 25. Bring down 5, carry 2. We have 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. And we have 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3. We have 28. And then multiply by the ones. We have 3 times 5 is 15. Carry 1 here. We have 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 1 is 19. And then we have 3 plus 5 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. And then now add the partial product. We have 0, 5, 2 plus 5 is 7. We have 8 plus 9 is 17. Carry 1. We have 2 plus 6 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. And then bring down 1. So let's count the decimal places. We have 1, 2. 2 decimal places. We have 1, 2, another 2 decimal places, the total of 4 decimal places. There should be 4 decimal places in our product. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, the answer is 19 and 7,750 10,000s. We have 19 and 7,750 thousandths, or we can remove the 0 here. We have 19 and 775 thousandths. Pero kung tatanungin kayo, how many decimal places should be in the product of the given, there should be 4 decimal places. We remove the 0 just to simplify the answer. And that 0 is a non-significant figure. Now let's proceed to learning task number 1. Learning task number 1 tells you to put the decimal point in the correct place. Add 0 if needed. Write your answer in your notebook. And sometimes sa papel ako nagpapasagot. So dito, actually, kung mapapansin nyo, may sagot na. We just need to put the decimal point in the answer. Magbigay tayo ng example. May sagot na siya, hindi mo na siya isa-solve in learning task number 1. Lalagyan mo na lang siya ng decimal point. So yung number 1, gawin natin example. Bilangin lang muna natin decimal places sa bawat factor. That is counting the number of digits after the decimal point. We have 1, 2. We have here 2. Another 1, 2. We have here 2. So all in all, there are 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So dapat na andun ang ating decimal point. Ilagay natin. So that is the answer for number 1. 3 and 1,160 10,000s. So, ganun din yung gagawin dito sa 2, sa 3, sa 4, and sa 5. Bibilangin mo lang yung decimal places ng factors and then ilalagay mo sa product niya by counting from right to the left. Alright, that is for learning task number 1. Learning task number 2 is find the product of the given. Imo-multiply nyo lang siya. Magbigay tayo ng example. Let's have an example. Gawin ko naman blue. Let's give an example which is number 1. Gawin natin example to number 1. We have 3 and 53 hundredths times 1 and 25 hundredths. So we have 5 times 3 is 15. Carry 1. We have 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 1 is 26. Carry 2. We have 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 is 17. And then let's proceed to tens. We have 2 times 3 is 6. So katapat siya ng 6. Umiisod. Yung partial product natin ay kung mapapansin nyo parang hagdan. Umiisod siya ng isang pwesto. So hindi mo siya pagtatapat-tapatin at walang decimal point sa partial product. So we have 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down 0. Carry 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, 7. And then we have 1 times 3 is 3. Iisod uli na isang pwesto. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 3 is 3. Then add the partial product. We have 5. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry 1. 1 plus 7 is 8 plus 3 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 7 is 9. Plus 5 is 14. Carry 1 and then we have here 4. Let's count the number of places in our factors. We have 1, 2, 1, 2. So we have 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Kaya gawin natin dito 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 4 and 4,125 10 thousandths. Again, hindi tayo naglalagay ng decimal point dito sa ating partial product. So, hindi naglalagay ng decimal point dito kasi in my experience, sa mga experience ko, kapag nagtuturo ako ng multiplication of decimal, ginagawa din nilang parang addition, pinagtatapat-tapat yung decimal point. In multiplication, hindi mahalaga dito. Dito sa given natin, hindi mahalaga kung magkatapat o hindi yung decimal point nyo. At hindi rin kayo naglalagay ng decimal point dito sa partial product natin. Saan tayo naglalagay ng decimal point? Dito tayo naglalagay sa pinakasagot. At para malaman mo yung decimal point, kung saan mo ilalagay, bibilangin mo yung decimal places sa iyong factors. So, kung 4 yung digit na nasa likod ng decimal point ng iyong factors, 4 din yung places na bibilangin mo sa factors. 4 din yung decimal places na bibilangin mo sa product. So, that is multiplying decimal number. Let's proceed to the next slide. In learning task number 3, find the product only. Pero kung mapapansin nyo dito, madali dahil ang product ang ating ipang-multiply lang ay puro whole number. So, very easy lang. Ma'am, hindi nakatapat. Typographical error. Walang problema kung hindi nakatapat. Siguro napalayo lang yung kanyang pagtatay. So now, let's have an example, when we multiply decimal numbers or mixed decimal by a whole number, let's have 5 and 1600ths times 4. So we have 4 times 6 is 24. Carry 2. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Then 4 times 5 is 20. So here, ang may decimal places lang or decimal point lang ay ito. Itong nasa taas. So ito lang ang bibilangin mo. We have 1, 2. Wala namang decimal point itong whole number. So sa inyong product, we have 2 decimal places. 1, 2. Doon mo ilagay yung decimal point. So we have 20 and 64 hundredths. So may partial product ba tayo dito? Wala. Diretso siya sa product. Bakit walang partial product? Kasi whole number, iisang digit yung ating multiplier. Okay, that's learning task number 3. Napakadali. So ulitin ko. Pag ang whole number natin ay isang digit lang, or once lang yung place value niya, wala tayong alright. So as you can see, wala tayong partial product dito. Bakit? Kasi ang ating multiplier ay 1 digit lamang. So 1 digit lang ang multiplier natin, kaya tayo walang partial product. Diretso siya sa partial product. But if you look at number 4, 5, and 3, there are 2 digits in the whole number. So kapag may 2 digits ka na, meron ka ng partial product before you get the answer or the product. Now, that is learning task number 3.